What's up, guys, and welcome to another video of DevTalks with your host Travian, where we talk about everything engineering technology-wise. And in this video, we're going to be talking about a 10% stake that the US now has with Intel. So without further ado, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and let's dive right in.
President Trump today called the government's recent 10% stake in semiconductor chip maker Intel a good deal. The administration converted nearly $9 billion in federal grants to the company into Intel stock. The president said he is looking at similar deals with more companies, and to help us understand what's going on, we turn to senior business and technology correspondent Jolene Kent. So, Jolene, what did the president say? Why did he say he wanted to make this deal?
John, the president said today, basically, I want them to do well. And he added, I want to try and get as much as I can, which raised a lot of questions. But the bigger goal here, according to his economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, is that the White House is in process of creating a sovereign wealth fund established by executive order back in February. Now, doing this is typically more common, of course, in countries like China and the Middle East, even Norway, where they've got access to major natural resources. But similar actions have happened before. You'll remember during the financial crisis, the U.S. government took stakes in Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and they stepped in to bail out Chrysler and General Motors from collapse. But it's important to note here, this is potentially the first of many deals, and it's a $9 billion stake. It's the remainder of the CHIPS Act money under President Biden, and the Biden administration originally said Intel had to meet certain goals to get this taxpayer money, but now President Trump has removed those goals to buy this stake in Intel, driving up the stock, John.
And Jolene, what are the arguments against doing this when it's not an emergency?
Well, true free market advocates and traditional conservatives say it's not good to mix church and state, if you will, to have, a large corporation like Intel tied up with the U.S. government. Their argument is that this misuses taxpayer money. It essentially ties it to the fame or fortune or the fall of a major company, and that is irresponsible. But President Trump says he sees an opportunity, and he says he's trying to help these companies maintain a global advantage. But certainly a lot of free market advocates out there saying this is a red flag. This is not a good idea.
Let me tell y'all why this was done exactly, right? So I'm going to tell you the stuff that they don't tell you. And because also they don't have all the information, they don't pay attention to everything. They just report on what's being reported on at the time. But when you come here, you get a little bit more insight on what's going on. So before this even happened, Trump actually wanted to out of Intel's new CEO that they had for a little bit now. He wanted them gone, just because he felt they weren't doing the right thing. All the other semiconductor and the chip companies, they went ahead, as they say, they quote unquote bent the knee. They invested millions, if not billions of dollars into the U.S. for several different reasons. They're coming to the front of the congregation, and they're stepping up in ways, and they're advancing in great ways and stuff in that aspect. But do you know what company you really haven't heard nothing about? It's Intel. And actually, when I've been covering Intel and their progress, this new CEO was supposed to help them and rejuvenate them and bring them into a new life that just hasn't really happened yet, I want to say. And the main reason why this is even brought up in the first place is because when Trump was complaining about getting him out, they were reporting that Intel has a lot of stake in China now. Not the US, China. They have a lot. China has a lot of money with Intel and everything else. There's like a lot of stake that China has within Intel. I see this as a way for the US to kind of buy that kind of stake back, to kind of get more of the, I don't want to say market share or something. They're trying to equate that kind of hold that China could potentially hold on Intel and try to pull some of that leverage back from them, especially monetarily. As they said, they took the CHIP Act money that they were going to be granting, and grants don't get paid back, just so y'all know. Grants don't be getting paid back. They ain't no loans, they grants. Without the thresholds. And one of the things about investing the money into the company itself rather than just handing them the money in grants, it's all performative. So instead of them making them reach these thresholds to get these specific grants, whatever these thresholds were, the better that the company does, the overall much the investment in the money is going to be. And I believe they should be able to still take out the money in some stake at any time. So I believe in it. At the end of the day, if Intel's the worst chip company stock, they're still going to get up, and hopefully maybe this is a money making aspect for the government. As we know, Trump's been trying to make a lot of money for the federal government and to help us out with this debt thing. Maybe this is a play right here to help them do that and get rid of some of the debt. Who knows? But this is the thing is people don't ask the right questions to the CEOs, to the president, and everybody else. And it seems like I'm the only one doing it over here on this channel. I need to get in talks with them. I need to get in talks with them. Because now people gonna start stealing my questions. I need to be there as soon as the press conference is over. Ask me, sir. Yeah. Hopefully this next year we grow to a crazy amount so I can be able to ask these questions to the right people, because I want to be able to report the right answers to you guys so we can speak further onto instead of assumptions. We don't want to speak off of assumptions. We want to speak off of what's facts and what's true and what's actually the plan that's drawn out. But that's really the reasons why I believe that they kind of bought this 10% stake into Intel. And it's actually funny because after Nvidia's earnings review for the second quarter, the people at Yahoo, I was just watching the video the last night actually, asked Jensen, the CEO of Nvidia, if he has been looking at deals to get stakes from the US in a similar way that Intel has, and he said no, they haven't really thought about it yet, and that's not something that they've discussed and everything. So what this is telling me is that the US government isn't reaching out to these other companies for a reason. I'm sitting here as me with my thinking cap and knowing what's recently happened with Intel. It is a control thing. It has to be a control thing because when you have a stake in a company, you also get more say and votes and everything else out of the company to get certain work done. I think this is a control thing for this particular company, especially with them wanting the CEO out. So we'll see how this plays out. Maybe the US's stake will rise even more in Intel. I'm really thinking this is a targeted effort, but who knows? We're going to find out soon. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I really appreciate it all. And you all so much. If you have any recommendations, send me an email at devtalkspod or anywhere linked in the description down below. Without further ado, peace. See you next time.